Yeah. Just to be safe, I'm gonna do that. Huh. Alright, I'm just gonna go with 2018. Okay.
"30 days has November, April, June, New Year's Day. Should old acquaintance be forgot and all that. I made sure she wouldn't forget me that day, didn't I, Batman? It was the first New Year's party I'd been invited to in a long time. But then I wasn't really invited, was I? The restraining order saw to that. Still, she and I had been close, or so I believed. And a new year means a new start. I admit, stepping into a crowded ballroom with a flamethrower was a bit dramatic. But what better way to melt the ice at a party? Perhaps she should have taken that cup of kindness from me when I first offered.
Okay, so Code Monkey says if it saves, it should show up as crossed out on the calendar next to his cell. Yep, January is scribbled out. Thanks for the heads up.
30 days have September.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for the autosave, then I'm gonna switch my Xbox One clock to February 14th, Valentine's Day. Yes. Okay, it works.
More of an important day than Groundhog's Day, I guess.
So February 14th.
"30 days have September, April, June, and November. Valentine's Day. Hearts and flowers. The perfect occasion to smother my new love with tokens of affection. I chose a dozen red roses, an assortment of truffles, and a darling little lacy thing. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to be so intimate. You might say I'd overdone it. And in truth, at that point, my love and I had not actually met. Ever the romantic, I followed her to her apartment. Loudly proclaiming my love, I drowned out her screams of protest. Sadly, it was not to be. So instead of smothering her with gifts, I simply smothered her.
Okay, let's change the Xbox One clock to March 17th, which would be St. Patrick's Day. Okay.
March 17th, the day set aside for St. Patrick, the holy man who drove of the snakes from Ireland. Interesting thing about snake venom, Batman. Some are green, just like the dye used to make green beer. That made it all the easier when I hosted that St. Patty's Day party for my old gang. As you remember, one of my henchmen tried to tip you off. I wasn't sure which one had done it, so I decided to punish them all. 1 dose of green mamba venom into the beer keg, and they were soon rotting under the shamrocks. So I guess that makes you responsible for their deaths, too. I'll drink to that.
I definitely wouldn't want to see that guy during holidays.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's change the end game or the Xbox One clock to April 1st, which would be April Fool's Day.
30 days have September, April, June, and November. Well, 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 Batman. You listened well. You appear to understand the importance of dates, don't you? Let me tell you about this day of fools. I remember clearly that I watched her for days, waiting for the perfect moment. It was cold that March. It felt like spring would never come. They drank coffee, and she confessed her life lacked surprises. For 6 more days, I watched. April 1st, 5:22 a.m. I finished cutting through the brake lines of her car. From the camera I placed on her dash, I saw her panic. My only regret, she couldn't hear me yell, "Surprise."
I'd hate to be the woman around him.
Best prank ever. Cut out the brakes.
Probably killed her.
Okay, so let the game save real quick. Okay, so let's change the Xbox One clock to May 14th, which would be Mother's Day.
"30 days has November, April, June, and September of 28. Father's Day, time to pray."
Who's that?
Was your father a stern man, Batman?
What?
Did he make you what you
Hold on
are
a second.
today? Come back that day and tell me.
I thought you chose May.
I thought I chose May. Hold on. It looked like I chose May though, right?
Yeah, it did. What's going on here? I think they got it mixed up in the game.
What do you mean mixed up in the game?
Because you had it on May 14th. So they thought May was Father's Day and June is Mother's Day.
Oh, okay. every year these dates will change, so verify with the calendar next to itself for dates beyond what's listed. Okay, yeah, because those are supposed to land on specific days of the week. Okay. Alright, so for 2018, huh?
30 days have September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31.
Okay, May
Except
13th.
for February alone, to which we
June
28
17th.
assign. Till
Okay,
leap year
got
gives
it.
us 29.
Okay, we'll try this again. So, May 13th, 2018. Because it's supposed to land on a specific day, which should be Mother's Day. Because we're from the future.
30 days have September, April, June, and November. M was for the murderous look she gave me. O meant only she was weak and old. T is for her terror as she fought me. H is for her heart that I now hold. E is for her eyes swiftly dimming. R means rot, and soon rotting she will be. Put them all together, they spell mother, a word that means a corpse to me. Happy Mother's Day, Mommy.
Okay, so... Oh, are you kidding me? It's not working anymore. Yeah, my dashboard button doesn't work anymore.
Well. Guess you're gonna have to reset it again.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Guess when you change the clock, Xbox One clock, sometimes it messes up the console when you're offline. Shame. So far, I have New Year's Day, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, April Fool's Day, Mother's Day.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and adjust my settings now. Alright, try this again. June 18th. 17th. Well, Father's Day would land on June 17th, 2018, so I'm going to change to that. Make sure it It sticks. Good. And we'll start Batman Arkham City backup. It does though. The thing is when I'm hitting the dashboard button and switching the days, when I came back out and I tried tapping the dashboard button again, it wouldn't dashboard properly. I tapped, like, the only way I could do anything outside of the game is holding in the dashboard button.
To reset the console.
I mean, if you want, I can actually put my webcam on stream and show you whenever it does it again. That was the second time it happened to me.
It might do it again.
So
It only let you go through 5 months.
it's not too often that somebody goes offline and constantly changes their Xbox One clock. Yeah, it's quite possible it's a bug related to their new guide. I don't know. It's pretty annoying though, but it's fine. I'd still much rather get the 12 murders dates with the calendar man by adjusting the Xbox One clock than having to wait for certain days in the year. That just seems like so much more of a process, and I have to memorize it. Okay, so June 17th, 2018 should land on Father's Day. So let's go see the calendar man again.
"30 days has November, April, June, and September. Of 28 is but one. All the rest are 31. Of course, I wasn't real close to my dad. And after my first internment at Arkham, he never spoke at all. It seems he wrote me off as a wacko, a loser. So, after I was released, I wanted to clear the air between us. Next Father's Day, I dropped by his place and suggested we go fishing. You ever go fishing with your pop? Well, it's some fun, let me tell you. The two of us out on the water, pulling in one whopper after another. Of course, I was doing the actual pulling. Dad was baiting the hooks. You know, with a finger, a foot, an eye. Whatever I had left of him. Even today, whenever I eat a nice piece of fish, I feel closer to my dear old dad.
So he used pieces of his dad for fish bait. Yeah, I guess that works.
It's saved.
Okay, so let's adjust the Xbox One clock to July 4th, which would be Independence Day.
It's always the same day. Or date.
30 days has November, April, June, and September. Explosives planted at every exit and beneath this cell itself. What better way to celebrate Independence Day? My independence, of course, from Arkham. Unfortunately, I decided to be clever about it and had a calendar sent to police headquarters with the month of July ripped out. You figured it out right away and arrived just as the fireworks were starting. You stopped me from escaping, but not before the fire swept through the intensive care ward. But then, what's the 4th of July without a barbecue?
I agree. Independence Day is nice with a good barbecue.
It is. It actually is, but
Especially when you have a barbecue with your enemies. Okay, so now let's adjust the Xbox One clock to August 16th. Which would be St. Rock's Day. No.
30 days have September, April, June. Do you remember that wonderfully hellish August, Batman? Packs of mad dogs swarming the furnace-hot streets, savaging everyone in their path. One bite, and humans were reduced to crazed animals themselves. Good times. Though Crane provided me with the hydrophobia formula, I had the presence of mind to release the hounds on August 16th, the feast day of St. Roach, patron saint of dogs.
Oh, St. Roach.
An obscure date, I know. But I couldn't imagine a better way to celebrate the dog days of summer.
So St. Roach's Day. Okay. Anyways, so the next day I need to switch to September 3rd, which would be Labor Day for 2018.
30 days have September. Days have September, April, June, and November. Oh. Early September. Kids headed back to school, leaves starting to turn, and best of all, Labor Day. Like the year I posed as a construction laborer and drove a bulldozer through the gold exchange. Or the year I referenced the labors of Hercules and released lions, bulls, and wild boars upon Gotham. Better than a circus. Even you have to admit last Labor Day was my most inspired. Laying siege to that hospital maternity ward? You labored mightily yourself that day. Saved every one of them. Well, there's always next year.
Okay.
30 days have September.
Alright, now let's adjust the date to October 31st, which would be Halloween.
every 4 years. Got it right. And 28 is 29. Boo. Funny thing, Halloween in Arkham. It seems redundant here. Within these walls, the monsters are on display year-round. Of course, there was that one year Joker led a breakout on All Hallows Eve. What a wonderful night. Costumed revelers innocently partying alongside killers and fiends. Of course, the real screams came when it was time to unmask. Trick or treat.
Huh.
Interesting.
Oh, actually, give me 1 second.
No good.
Yeah, now I gotta see when Thanksgiving falls on for 2018. So the 22nd.
30 days had September, April, June, and November.
Okay, so what day was it again?
November 22nd.
Okay, so November 22nd would be Thanksgiving on or in 2018. Most.
So far, it's been letting you use the guide button.
Days had September, April, June. You know, I always feel a little lonesome in November. I think that's because even the worst of us enjoy a good old-fashioned family Thanksgiving. I know I did a few years back when I dropped in unannounced on Turkey Day. All those surprised faces around the table. Mom and Dad could hardly believe it. Mind you, I don't know whose mom and dad they were. I was on the run and needed a place to lay low. That family, whoever they were, could certainly cook. Stuffing and gravy and pumpkin pie to die for. Unfortunately, they did. Like I said, always feel lonesome in November.
He likes killing people.
Okay.
In December.
December 25th is always Christmas.
30 days have September.
Alright, so I'm going to switch my clock to December 25th. This is my last day, so I need to make sure I'm doing it correctly. Okay, so so December 25th, Christmas. Alright, so I'm gonna have to do this a little different since this is my last day. Alright, I'm gonna enter back into here. I'm going to connect back to Xbox Live, and then I'm going to talk to him. Let me make sure this works correctly. Okay, so connect to. Okay.
Ebenezer Scrooge was...
Okay, so I started talking with him um, for Christmas, and then I went back online after I started. Well, okay, let me say that again. This is my last day for Calendar Man. I changed my Xbox One clock to December 25th, 2018, and as soon as I started talking to him, I'm going back online. I make sure I'm online. Okay, the guy doesn't seem to be working.
The saint compared to old Judge Harkness. Remember him, Batman? Gotham's hanging judge, they called him. Even though the state had ruled me insane, Harkness swore he'd send me to the gallows. So you see, it was all a simple act of self-preservation. I could hardly be held responsible for strangling that street corner Santa Claus for his suit. I needed the disguise to sneak into the judge's Christmas Eve party. Harkness thought it was all in fun, until Saint Nick caught him around the neck with a string of Christmas lights. The cops found him later, hanging from the elaborate light display of his own roof. Judgy almost looked like a cartoon himself, alongside the comical reindeer, elves, and snowmen. I call that murder my Christmas special.
Well, the problem is my guide button doesn't work.
You can't see if you go through the screen or not.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the guide button stopped working a third time. As soon as I chose to go online, and then as soon as I did that, I couldn't hit the guide. The guide button wouldn't work when I was in the settings. Nor did it work when I was in when I went back to the game. I didn't. The game didn't save, so should be fine. It only saves when you change between areas, or you get some kind of collectible, or finish some side mission. Okay, so I'm gonna start the game back up.
All the rest have 31, except for February alone, which has 28, rain or shine. Remember to give your mother a call, Batman, and come back and see me.
So that means I have to go through the whole process again. Well, not through all the dates, but I need to go offline again, and then I need to restart the console. All because the dashboard didn't work when I needed it to. Okay, so exit the game. I need to go back to the Xbox One clock. Actually, I need to go offline, and then I need to go to my Xbox One clock after I turn the system back on. Go offline. Turn off console.
Seems a bit of a hassle.
It is a hassle, especially when things aren't working properly.
Yeah.
The achievement's supposed to pop when you talk before his conversation ends. On the last murderous date, you're supposed to talk to him. I'll be so happy when I get this achievement. It's such a colossal waste of time when things aren't working, though. This is taking way too long just for something so simple.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. December 25th, 2018. Try this again. Good. Start the game up. Okay. Let's start the dialogue for December 25th, 2018.
June, and November.
Christmas.
Ebenezer's.
Okay. Now I just need to go into my settings and go back online. And give it a minute. actually reconnects very fast because I'm using a Cat 6 cable. No, it doesn't work anymore. I can no longer dashboard.
Stupid.
Scrooge was a saint compared to old Judge Harkness. Remember him, Batman? Gotham's hanging judge, they called him. Even though the state had ruled insane, Harkness swore he'd send me to the gallows. So you see, it was all a simple act of self-preservation. I could hardly be held responsible for strangling that street corner Santa Claus for his suit. I needed the disguise to sneak into the judge's Christmas Eve party. Harkness thought it was all in fun, until Saint Nick caught him around the neck with a string of Christmas lights. The cops found him later, hanging from the elaborate light display of his own roof. Judgy almost looked like a cartoon himself, alongside the comical reindeer, elves, and snowmen. I call that murder my Christmas special.
Okay, well, that worked.
Okay.
My dashboard button still doesn't work, but that's fine. I get the achievement, so that's all that matters.
Now you just need to restart a piece.
Okay, so I'm gonna exit so I can get the save one last time, and then I'm gonna have to exit the game, and might have to even restart because I can't use my dashboard button
Again.
again.
For the 4th or 5th time.
What was the achievement called?
Huh?
What was the achievement called?
Storyteller?
Okay, so that's the storyteller achievement where you have to have 12 murderous states with a calendar man. I use the Xbox One clock to adjust the dates so I can earn the achievement faster. Alright, so... I'm gonna go ahead and restart the stream. I'll be back in like 10 minutes, and I'm gonna be playing through Harley Quinn's Revenge. See you guys soon.